Well, I've been doing it for a couple of years. Counting today, I say 5 to 6 years. I've been training with Martin ever since those years. But most importantly, ever since I was growing up, I really didn't start with boxing first. I started with mixed martial arts, like karate and then kung fu. But since I was going through the struggle and stuff, I kept on going in and out. And I mean, it was a lot of financial issues that my parents are going through, and I mean, we didn't have money to be able to go. They could pay for my classes and stuff. But as soon as I met Coach Martin, I mean, I've been training for 5 to 6 years with him.
Nice, and you mentioned Coach Martin, and I wanted to talk about that relationship and through the years how that bond and how that relationship has strengthened.
Well, at first when I met Martin, I felt safe. I felt compassionate because whenever I was growing up, I always got bullied all the time whenever I was going to school and stuff. And I don't know, it's just as soon as I met Martin, he somehow made me bring my self awareness up, my self image. He helped me kind of boost myself up. And I mean, I just fell in love with the sport, with the boxing. And I mean, Martin, I really see him as a friend, as a brother. Although we're not blood related, but I really see him as a brother. We have like that bond. We have that bond. I see him like a dad, a brother, a cousin, a loved one. I see him like that most than anything. Most than anything, I remembered one of my good friends of mine. They're Martin's brother. His name is Dante Soriano. Whenever he told me, hey man, before you go fight pro, just so you know, enjoy it, because your very first professional fight, it won't be the same. That one feeling is the best feeling ever. It's like unexplainable. Like not only like the feeling of winning, but like it's the feeling of knowing how hard you've been preparing for the fight, and at the end that you actually came out victorious. It feels great. He says he told me that it feels better than the feeling of any kind of drug. It's just like that adrenaline rush whenever everyone's screaming your name, "El LOCO!" And you're mind blown. You're like, I mean, it's hard to explain, man. But I mean, it's the most beautiful feeling I could ever have it encountered. I've been preparing for this fight for like 3 to 4 months, ever since it was mentioned to me, and I mean, I feel confident. I feel confident about my skills, my skill levels, my ethics, everything that I've been doing in order for this preparation for this fight, all the sparring, all the meal preps, also, well, yeah, taking cold showers and and nothing but ice. I mean, that's what I love about the fighting sport. I mean, it helps you stay dedicated, sharp, ready, not only physically but also mentally. And I mean, sometimes you gotta suffer in order to succeed. You gotta suffer, and that's the point of what's it called, the boxing. It's a very lonely sport. I'm not gonna lie. You do miss a lot of fun. There's times where like some of my family members are like, hey, well, there's a party going on here. It's your cousin's birthday. It'll start at this time. It'll end like at midnight or at 1. I'm like, oh, sorry, I can't. I have a fight. It's just that discipline that I have, and I feel like that's what's been helping me out with my fights. And most importantly, I'm a real religious person. I believe in God. I don't want to get too far deep into there, but like I have a very crazy story to tell. I overcame death 2 times. First time was whenever I was born. I was born premature. Second, it was year 2020. I was about to die. I had like a heart condition, but I prayed to God and I made a promise with him, and he healed that heart damage that I had. And I told him that I wanted to keep on boxing, and this was my passion. And I mean, God, he provided and he did his part. Now I'm doing my part, and I'm just doing it the right way, in the correct way, the way how he wants it. And I mean, every single one of my battles, I win him through getting on my knees and praying to the Lord. And every fight that I have, it's not my fight, it's the Lord's battle. And I'm just focused in my training, and I just give it everything I got. Um, I do have a couple of key things, because I do notice there's a lot of youngsters, a lot of young kids, little kiddos that they look up to me. They're like, "Hey, how do you do it? How did you overcome all that fear of getting up there in the ring and knowing that you're gonna get hit?" Or also some of my old friends that I have, they're like, well, they used to be drug addicts, or some of them are still drug addicts, and they're like, "Hey, well, how did you do it? How did you stop all that?" I'm like, well, most importantly, most than anything, I involve God into it. And second, it's just discipline, like I said, hard work, time, and dedication. And a message that I want to spread to the kids, to the kiddos that look up to me. And not only me, but the rest of the other boxers that are doing good in the sport, which meaning they're doing it the correct way, not the wrong way. Is if you have a dream, follow it. I remember this one verse in my head, Matthew 7:7, everything that's asked for in prayer shall be given to you, but in my timing. That's one thing that really stick to me. I know it's the Lord that He has put those thoughts in my head, and I feel like this is God's will for me to be able to bring in all the kiddos into boxing, to get them out of all the bad stuff in this world, because there's so much bad stuff. Like there's alcohol, drugs, there's a lot of child abuse, there's a lot of problems, wars going on. And I feel like this is, if you ever have a problem, or you want to get away from a drug addiction, or if you have problems at home, I feel like the best way to do it is, number one, most importantly, surrendering to Christ. Second is, giving everything you got at the gym, whether if it's kickboxing, boxing, lifting weights. It's really whatever's in the passion, whatever's in the heart. And that's my message I would like to pass to every single one of the kiddos that look up to me.